So, we are going to react to what is, in my opinion, the best animated video of the modern era. We could say circa 2017 to the present. In the last 8 years, since the advent of CGI, this is by far the best animated sequence I have ever seen. And I'll give the context and my full bias. I love this series. I love the Gundam Wing franchise. I have loved it forever. And when this came on my feed this morning, I was like, oh, I have got to cover this. Because I don't know if anyone in the VTuber community has. So, without further ado, let's look at this glorious piece of work. So what I'm going to do is we're going to play through it initially, right? And then, as we're playing through it, once the video ends, then I'll get my thoughts, and then we'll go back and look at specific scenes and react to that, because I understand that for most viewers that, yeah, maybe a bit better. I understand that for most viewers, right, you might feel as though you want an authentic reaction and you don't want to hear someone talk over a video. So, we'll do it that way. And, you know, give me any advice, criticism, etc. If you don't like that format, I could change it up, so on and so forth. But without further ado, let's get started with this. Gotta love Sunrise, by the way. Wow. So, okay, sorry for being silent. Like I said, what I wanted to do was I wanted to play through it first without any commentary, background, etc. so that you guys could get the initial video. Of course, I'll link the video in the description below. But I know for some people with reaction videos, you want to hear just the video itself before any commentary, right? So I actually think that the best way to do it justice is indeed we're going to look over it again, and maybe I'll pause, or maybe it can go through, who knows, but I'm going to do it again. Just because, isn't it such an awesome video to watch over again? So what makes this such an epic ending is that first of all, like literally the first like 30 seconds, look how they show you a lot of the entire of the franchise. From the beginning all the way to end this long movie. This is what it should be. If you want to play a lot of nostalgia, if you want to play, okay, I'm going to remaster something, make the fuck off in the 90s. This is the way it should look, right? Like, this is perfect. And this is gold with white feathers. And also, this music is perfect. Everything about it. I'll give context. I did not watch or read those and this is just a big shot right here. He just shot like that was just perfect. There was so much packed into this video to comment on that I didn't even get through half of it. Just in terms of I could go through the lore. Like, for the life of me, the one part about this movie, and it was in the original as well, that kind of did not make sense to me at that time, right? Let's see if I can get to this specific shot of it. I'm sorry, there's a specific shot. So, Relena wearing that jacket. Now, I know that Relena, originally, she had that whole Saint Kingdom arc, and she was attempting to be a part of Romabella, but then Trace comes in and like, nah, we don't need you as the leader of Romabella. And Relena just like stepped down, just like that. doesn't even give up a fight to it. And Relena Peacecraft is the most useless character in the entire Gundam franchise. I'm not even kidding you. Relena Peacecraft is what the only thing Relena adds to the story is to literally be a plot device for Hero Yui's development. Which, don't get me wrong, I love Hero Yui, one of the most badass characters of all time. But that's all Relena is good for, is to build up Hero Yui as the character. Because other than that, just jolting from my memory, I do not know what Relena Peacecraft added to the Gundam Wing franchise from a character-driven standpoint. She wants pacifism, she doesn't want to fight, but ultimately she does nothing to accomplish any of these goals. Which is why there was that other woman that you saw earlier, and for the life of me, I forgot her name. She ended up in a life or death duo with Quadra, but she was originally meant to be Relena's antagonist because she basically is a warmonger in of itself, pro-war, and Relena just never did anything with it at all, and it just mind-boggling. It's just mind-boggling that she wears this jacket, because it's like, you're no Lacus Klein, you're no Kigali Hula Alpha, you're just Miss Pacifist right from beginning to end, and you need Hero to basically be your man. Not even your man, because that relationship, that in itself is weird. Like, neither of these two, it was a unspoken love-hate all the way from the very first, literally like first few minutes of the episode, if everyone remembers. I'm gonna kill you. Like, that relationship was weird as fuck. Totally weird. In terms of the other things in this movie that just interested me, if you look at it, right? So, I will say, like, for example here, Ruth Bay honestly looks kind of feminine. Eve always did look feminine, but dear God, this did not do my boy Ruth Bay any justice, did it? No, it did not do Ruth Bay any justice at all. That wasn't the point I wanted to get to. Days. You know, it's kind of funny, right? Where childhood me was like everyone else. It's a Gundam! But now that I'm an adult, if I went to rewatch the series all the way to Frozen Teardrop, I am a political junkie. So now I feel I will be able to understand the politics of the Earth colony, the politics of Trays, Milliardo, all the way up to Endless Waltz. Actually, by Endless Waltz, I was starting to get a little bit of an idea. Mari Maya, the attempt at taking over the Earth Sphere. But a lot of that bypassed a lot of us 90 kids. We were just like, it's a Gundam, you're gonna die. And it was just awesome. But now, as an adult, if I rewatch this, I feel like I'll get the appreciation of both things. The overreactions with the Gundam, and at the same time, the politics. Because although politics does intertwine into the Gundam universe, Gundam Wing, I believe, is the first real series that took it to a real literal standpoint. Like, you might see some of the politics in Shaw's counterattack, right? But it never really becomes this big fought thing until you get Gundam Wing, and then a few years down the line, Gundam Seed really heavily plays into politics. And it does add into the story. Obviously, if you're going to make a story about war, you should have some politics in it. But it really started to get developed from And, you know, the Zon Square Empire, that whole thing with Victory Gundam, there was some of that. But I guess what I'm trying to say is the complexity of it really jumped from Gundam Wing all the way through the Siege series, and I did watch Unicorn, but I kind of stopped there, to be honest. I have no idea about Gundam Mercury or any of that. But I would be down to be watching this franchise now with the understanding of an adult about politics, where I will now be able to follow their discussions from a political, sort of quasi-realistic standpoint. And that's another thing that made Gundam Wing a series in of itself. Even though the other Gundam series, some of them have politics, right? It is distant enough that we couldn't feel it. But in Gundam Wing, that is not the case. And especially when you understand, you know, kind of play on words like Roma Like, they really went the ninth degree with Gundam Wing, which is why it was so spectacular in so many ways. And there it is, Miliardo Peacecraft, aka Zex Marquis, and his, I believe that they're lovers. Noin definitely loves Zex, but who knows how Zex feels about that, right? And his Duo. If there were an American in this franchise, it would definitely be Duo. So, this whole shot is similar, right? Like, what is Showa doing getting himself literally, like, is he being a sub here? Like, getting himself crucifixed. Like, he's on his Hisoka moment here. Like, it just gives me some Hisoka vibes, doesn't it? Seeing Showa like this? Like, but seeing all this and seeing the monetization of this, I don't think that they just did this for nostalgia, like, and great nostalgia, right? Because this shot is special, right? It is a modern of the most, and oh my god, it is so perfect. But I'm not the only one. There were others in the comments who speculated on it. But seeing this whole mission accepted, now there are some people speculating, are they going to create maybe an anime only? Or are they going to expand on the lore? And I'm certainly hoping so, right? Because this MV, like I said, it is the perfect, if you're going to modernize something. Think about, for example, the Rurouni Kenshin remake, right? That was obviously an attempt of getting a quick buck and just having little to no respect for everything that the 96 series was for Rurouni Kenshin, right? Like, if you want to compare and contrast the Rurouni Kenshin remake, I speak for just about 55% of Rurouni Kenshin fans, minimum, to say that the remake was an obvious money grab, and most of these things end up being money grabs, and the money grabs are just not for the heart, right? They don't care. They don't love the franchise. But with this video, you can see they fucking love the work that they put into Gundam Wing. And it shows with this movie. And to me, I love this 3-minute movie. I find myself wanting more, and I have to believe that they wanted to make more, because 3 minutes of this, it is not enough. Can you imagine if they actually did complete an animated series like this? And if it takes something, for example, similar to what Bleach did with the cores, I will do that. Stretch it out 2 years of basically OAV caliber animation. Do that. Perfect. I would rather have, if you're going to appeal to our nostalgia, you appeal to it at the best of its core, rather than this crap that happened with Rurouni Kenshin. Because this is just an epic start. This is an absolute epic start right here. Not even gonna lie. So, that's that for that. I just wanted to make a video and kind of do fanboyism over Gundam Wing, because it's just one of my favorite series. Then after this, after I upload this, I am going to play the second chapter of Andy and Lele, because that game is awesome, and I know that I've been meaning for that upload, but my asthma was acting up again, and so that was a huge part of that process. But as you can hear, I'm clear now. So after this uploads, I am going to be right on chapter 2, and I think we're going to go the whole 2 hours this time for chapter 2. Alright, love you guys, peace.